Well, I'm so excited to have you here today, Debbie Macomber, New York Times bestselling author. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, Sue.
Well, I'm so excited about your new book, Summer on Blossom Street. We're continuing with the Blossom Street series, and Lydia's in her yarn store. And tell us a little bit about this installment.
Well, Lydia starts a knit to quit class, and everybody that signs up for the class is doing it for a different reason. There's a woman there who's devastated when she finds that her fiance has been unfaithful, and yet she loves him and she really wants to forgive him, and she realizes she has to get on with her life because if he's cheating before marriage, he will after marriage, and she knows that. But she really loves him, and so she's getting over him. And then Alex wants to get pregnant, but she started smoking before the wedding, so she's got to give up smoking. And then there is a man, my first male knitter, who is dealing with a lot of stress in his life through a court case, and so he's coming in there because knitting has been proven to lower blood pressure.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
So.
And now let me see, that was the man, he owns the candy factory,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah, that was a nice relationship that you developed in the classroom with
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful story as always. Blossom Street has been such a fun story. One thing I wanted to mention is that I always enjoy your books because of the characters. I mean, obviously they're very character driven, that's what takes you through the story. But your characters are real. As I'm reading along, sometimes I'm reading about, let's say, Anne Marie, and I think, oh wow, that reminds me of so and so, and it's just kind of funny how that happens. Do you plan that, or do you know of friends that you want to write about, or how do you come about writing your stories?
Well, some of the characters are based on people I know. Alex, who is the street kid who is really trying to make good with her life, is based on a young girl I mentored who was in high school.
Oh, okay.
And her attitude is a lot like Alex was in the very beginning of the series. And Charlotte in the Cedar Cove series is based on my mother. And so, there are certain similarities, so yes. Yes,
Okay.
in some ways, not totally.
Yeah.
A lot of it's my imagination.
Did you have fun creating, both series, the town that they're in, Blossom Street?
Well, Blossom Street was never intended to be a series. I didn't start it out to be a series, but I listened to my readers. Their opinions are very valuable to me. And after the Shop on Blossom Street was released, I got so much mail from readers and emails saying, oh, please continue. I want another story. And so I had already written Susanna's Garden, and it was in production. So I sent all these emails to my editor, and I said, I really feel we need to do a follow-up book on this, do a 2-book series, and call it The Name of the Yarn Star, which is a good yarn. And that happened to be my first New York Times bestseller. And so
I didn't know that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, so my first hardcover bestseller.
Bestseller, right.
And so after that, they says, well, maybe you should do a third.
Yeah.
So it's just continued on. So I didn't plan it as a series. Whereas with Cedar Cove, I always intended that to be a series.
Okay.
And I still don't know how many books there will be in the Cedar Cove series. But I'd done a lot of traveling. I'd been touring. And so I wanted something that was familiar that I knew. I didn't want to have to travel somewhere and do the research. So I picked my own hometown. And everything there is very thinly disguised. I mean, the Pancake Palace in Cedar Cove is the family pancake house.
Okay.
And Dee Dee's on the Cove is really Amy's on the Bay. So, I mean, they're very thinly disguised. The town does have a totem pole. The town library does have a mural. It's very, if you walk into Port Orchard, Washington, you're walking into Cedar Cove.